Most of the time, I talk to existing online coaches, the folks who've been in it for a couple years, are already getting clients consistently. We help those coaches to win even more and to put a plan in place so their growth is exponential. But in today's video, in this video specifically, I want to talk to the aspiring coaches, the currently employed coaches, the entrepreneurs who haven't decided yet on their online business model, and just talk about the time frame that we're currently in, the race that you're up against, and what it's going to take for you over these next 30, 60, 90 days and over these next 12 months to make your vision of reality of leaving your day job, of having full freedom of your life, of full freedom over your finances, and having more options for yourself, for your family when it comes to travel, when it comes to health, and it comes to wealth generation, because that's what's literally at stake for you right now. Let's go back to 2012. I was rounding out my 4th year at Apple, and I came across a book that had already been a bestseller, already been the special new edition written. I wasn't a first person to discover this book. I was way late to the game when it came to the 4-Hour Workweek. In fact, if you scroll far back enough on this channel, you'll find a review I did of the time, I think that was in 2015, of the 4-Hour Workweek. And every time I read it and revisit it, I'm at a different point, but that's for another day. If you guys want to hear about my reflections on 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, then let me know for sure. It's 2012, and I had been at Apple for 4 years, and I just got 2-3 promotions back to back in a row over the course of like 16 to 18 months. I was living at large. I was one of the younger guns around there, and I got some opportunity. I made some opportunity, and I took advantage of it. And if you guys ever want to hear about the stories when I was at Apple and some of those things that I learned and some of the unique experiences I got that no one else did at my store or in my market, then let me know in the comments, and maybe we can share some of that down the road. Back to the subject. What I discovered in the 4-Hour Workweek was that time was the most valuable asset. You see, I was walking around thinking it was all about money. It was all about having the goods in the bank account. But something that Tim Ferriss really made apparent in his book was that time was the ultimate asset. And you watching this right now, that's probably not news to you. That your time is priceless. That you can always make more money. You can't ever get back your time. So it makes every single second of your day, every single minute, hour, day, week, month, year, extremely important. And it's very easy this time of the year for you to lose sight on your goals. And then come December, January, it's like, oh crap, new year. We get into a mode. We have a bunch of excitement, and then we head downhill. What I realized was that for 9 hours out of my day, because we had an hour-long lunch break, I had someone supervising me, watching over me, and I didn't have freedom. On top of not having freedom, I realized through a series of unfortunate events happening around me that I, although wanted to retire from Apple and was giving it every ounce of energy that I had and made a career out of it, and even though Apple says their most important resource, their soul, is their people, they're still a corporation. And what I discovered was that at any moment, you could be nixed and there would be no further conversation around it. No one to even talk to about it. And I felt like, even though I didn't, I felt like I had a big target on my back. And I almost painted that target on my back as a way to create motivation for myself, because I realized that as much heart I'm giving to this organization is heartless. And this is not just an Apple thing or a tech thing. This is any job you're going to go into, is that the business is going to make business decisions, and rightfully so. And when we don't empower ourselves to be in the best decision-making seat, then we expose ourselves and our families to many liabilities. If you're happy with your job and you're loving it, this ain't the video for you. I'm not your guy. This ain't the channel. Find that person, find that guy, find that channel for you. But if you're in your job right now and you're hungry for more and you want the true freedom, then, this and this channel is for you. So subscribe if you haven't already. I don't ask often for it, but you found your home. I made it an effort to be reading 4-Hour Workweek on my 15-minute breaks, to to surround myself with Tim's material, I took the cover off of the book when I was there at Apple because I didn't want anybody to, because I was a leader and I know a lot of people looked up to me and followed my lead, and I had a responsibility with that to not try to scare people that I was going to leave. But in the back of my head, I knew with every ounce I was out of there. I had to keep my game face on. I took the cover off of the 4 Hour Workweek book so it looked like I was carrying around Harry Potter and reading that, like the Chamber of Secrets or something, on my breaks. And through some time, I was able to work my way out of Apple, and I wound up at a startup, a series of amazing events that got me into this startup as basically employee number 1 or 2 doing the marketing. And my pitch was, let me do the marketing for your business because I'm a hungry young marketer and I want to do it for my own businesses selfishly, so let me come and do it for you. And so I went and worked at a startup, and what I want to tell you is, regardless of where you're at in your journey as an employee or as a kind of new and starting emerging coach, is that especially when you're working in the moonlight hours, when you're working on weekends, it makes it all that more important to have the right plan, to have the right mindset, and to be taking the right few critical actions. My first business mentor told me something that has stuck with me forever. You guys hear me bring, stuff from my mentors all the time, and that's the idea that small hinges swing big doors. Meaning small actions make the big results, meaning 80-20, Pareto's principle, 4-hour work week style. This is where I learned the 80-20. 20% of your actions create 80% of your results, and 80% of your actions are only creating 20% of the results. So how do we constantly look at the 20%, the core few critical things that are actually going to move the needle and get you to where you want to be in business and in life? I say that to you because you're whether you're aware of it or not, you are at one of the most critical crossways, forks in the road, and the most important forks in the road you may have ever been at in your entire life. Because if you allow for the world, your job, the demands of society to take you away from your vision, to actually step in the highest and best version of yourself and to go and serve your market with people who are hurting with the pains that you can solve, even if you don't know the pains that you solve yet. If you don't take the necessary steps and have the necessary mindset and put the necessary energy and actions into it, it starts to stack the odds against you. So I wanted to make this video to get you inspired the way I was back in 2012, to get me to where I'm now at looking into 2023. And the commitment that I want for you to make to yourself, to your family, to your future family, hell, to make your ancestors proud, is commit to quit. I want for you to commit to quitting your job over these next 6, 9, and 12 months. And better than quit your job is to have the option of being able to do it. I'm all about options. And all I want for you watching this right now is to have the most amount of options for yourself and for your family so that you can make better and more informed and more inspired decisions than you could when you're working the 40-hour week or when you're doing things that aren't empowering you. Maybe you're freelancing right now, or you're contracting, or doing something where you're not full-time coaching, you're not full-time in your online business yet. Because over 2023, look at what happened over these last couple years in 2019 going into 2020. The world completely changed and shifted. And maybe you had plans that got put on hold. Maybe you're someone watching this that actually did something and got the results you're wanting and were able to grow your business during these hard economic times. But I can promise you this, is that there might be times of prosperity, but it's not going to get any easier. It's only going to get harder and more noisy for you to be entering the market space. I'm making this video to create some urgency in you, okay? Because you might be the only person jockeying behind yourself right now, and you might have some friends and some family that are rooting for you big right now, but I promise you, none of that matters until you step up and have the level of commitment required in order for you to get out of your job and to become the online coach that you've been dying to become. If you're here to help more people, you're my kind of people. And so as we look into the end of 2022 going into 2023, the only one commitment I want for you to make is to quit, but I want for you to make a commitment to quit by having the right plan and executing on the few small things, those small hinges that get you big results, that swing big doors. Because if you have the right plan and you're taking the right action and you believe in your core that this is the route meant for you and that the right circumstances will happen as you take the right steps from the right energy, I promise you, you can't fail. You keep taking action, you keep getting back on the horse. That's what it's all about. And so if this is resonating with you right now, I want for you to write the word commit down in the comments wherever you're watching this, and I want you to make 2023 the year that you commit to quitting and that you commit to your vision of becoming the online coach that you've been dreaming and envisioning about.